Hello my beautiful people. So as you can see, different layout yet again. I feel like there's been so many changes recently. The reason I'm doing things differently this week is because it needs to be relevant, right? I believe that we incarnate when and where we choose to incarnate, because we understand that that time, that moment in time, the people that we're born to, that we interact with, that we come into contact with, are going to provide the right conditions and impetus for us to take the journey that our soul truly wants and needs to take. If you were born at this time, and it's an unprecedented time for a lot of people, if you were born at this time, you will be, or you're here at this time, should I say, you're here for a reason to experience this in some way, shape or form. This means that your soul signed up for this. And in order to keep it relevant, I want to help people understand, what is it that your soul is trying to learn right now? A lot of people are being forced to take stock, to stand still. The old contracts, the old world, the old spiritual contracts, it's all breaking down in favor for something new that is coming through now, for a new way of being, a new way of understanding, a new sense of connection. New connections are about to be forged. New ways of doing everything are about to be forged. So, the fact that a lot of us are either sort of on lockdown or having to stay still, having to take a moment. I talked about this in my daily email, if you get it, if you're on my list. And what I talked about was this moment where so many people are being forced to stop, to put their feet on the ground and say, right, okay, what do I think about this? What do I really feel is the next step for me? Why is it that this is taking place? What is my soul trying to learn? And I kind of see this time, when a planet goes retrograde, it sort of takes its journey and then it slows down. And then as it slows down, it starts to come to a stop, and it stations, and then its energy is magnified. What happens under a retrograde, backward, looking back, going over, reassessing, reevaluating, redoing, lots of rewords, rediscovery, remembering, bringing things from the past back for examination to be looked at, re-examining things, right? All of these words are what happen when a planet retrogrades. Well, then it kind of stops and tracks backwards, so we go back over that energy, and then it stops and it stations again, and then it starts to move forward again, and it kind of picks up speed and goes on its merry way. Well, if you think about it, the human race at the moment is kind of being forced into its very own retrograde. So rather than seeking out there or looking out there, this is a time to go within. What is your soul trying to learn? What is it that you are releasing at this moment in time? And what is it that you are welcoming in as a result of all of this that's taking place on this sort of deeper level? If you haven't seen it, I did a series recently on the spring equinox for the different different elements of the zodiac. Check that out. It's on a playlist, and you can find that on the channel. Just hit the playlist button and you'll be able to find it. With that said, this is kind of a mini blurb to explain why the different format, what it kind of means, how it's going to shape up for you. I haven't stuck to the usual format because I don't feel like it's relevant at the moment. I feel like this is the stuff that is kind of more relevant for us, and will probably be more relevant for us over the course of the next week. So let me know, do you love it? Do you loathe it? And with that said, you are heading into your personal taroscope for the week ahead. Take care, love you much, and I'll see you soon. Hi Pisces, welcome to your week ahead taroscope with me, Raphael from Radiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. If you haven't already, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and it resonates, hit that subscribe button. If you are already a continued subby, you know I love you for it. With that said, if you would like to book a personal reading with me, yes, you can still get those. on the link in the description box below. Before we start, as always, I would like to bless my deck of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance, and I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So let's have a look, see if you've seen the blurb, you know what it is. If you haven't seen it, go back and check it out. With that said, let's go straight in. This week, Pisces, your soul is trying to learn to dispel the confusion and to not reach outside to do so. This is one of the things with Pisces, you know, and I say this out of love, but very often you guys forget your own power. You're an amalgamation of all of the signs that come before you, you know, which sometimes can create sort of, you know, too many spoons in the fire or too many, well, you know what the sayings are. This week, what your soul is trying to teach you is to dispel the confusion that you feel by going within, by not relying on anyone or anything outside of yourself. You're not going to find it there. You're going to find it within. All of us are this week. And your Seven of Cups is basically saying to you as well, in terms of spreading yourself too thin, this is going to teach you to prioritize. This is going to teach you to do that thing that you guys are not necessarily known for, but build boundaries, to learn to use the power or utilize the power of a really good no, you know, to create and define and redefine your own boundaries. This Seven of Cups is saying to me that this week, not only are you learning to set your own boundaries or to define your own boundaries, but you are really dispelling the confusion by going inward. You're known for being very spiritual and very psychic when you tap into it. This is the week for you to learn how to do that. Going within is where you're going to find the answers. Okay, for what you're releasing this week is the Two of Swords, right? So this is basically you, and if I could give you an action, this card as a releasing card is basically saying this is where you take the blindfold off. This is where you start to go within. It's where you start to trust your own innate psychic awareness. But this is about you no longer looking through things. It's where you're kind of taking off the blindfold. Like if this were you, this is where you take off the blindfold and say, you know what, let's be practical. Let's bring it down to ground. I'm going to see much better if I take this blindfold off. This is about you having the strength and the courage to look at things exactly as they are, to look at things exactly as, you know, as they are revealed to you, rather than through the lens of the love and the compassion that you usually put on everything. This is about you taking off the filter. The release that you're having this week is you're taking the filter off, whether this is off of your speech, off of your actions, off of life itself. This is about you saying, you know what, I've had the watered down version, I've had the edited version, and that doesn't work for me anymore. Whatever it is that I am going to do from now on, whatever it is that I am going to interact with, I want it full force. I want to touch, taste and smell all of it exactly as it is. I don't want any censorship, you know. And maybe you have to say this to, you know, to some of your people. You know, stop mollycoddling me, stop watering it down for me, just tell me the truth, just give it to me exactly as it is. What you are welcoming in is the Three of Pentacles. You are welcoming in your own highest wisdom and learning. You are welcoming in a time where you are going to be, in effect, in some way, shape or form, a new student. You're welcoming in learning, knowledge, wisdom, information, insight. These are all things that are going to find their way to you. And if this looks like, for some of you, maybe branching out into some form of new study, maybe branching out into some sort of new online course, this is about you really tapping into the stream of information and wisdom that is out there. And you're saying, you know what, if I'm going to learn at a deep level, then I need to be able to do it through true and total and utter clarity. And that's your big message this week, Pisces. For your key to the week, this week you have the Chariot card. All right, so what you need to know is that by going within, you get to where it is that you want to be. By going within, you are going to win, you are going to succeed. This week, it is really about you acknowledging your own strength, your own power, your own ability to overcome. This is about really, I mean, the Chariot's a very strong card. Lots of people say, you know, yes, it's victory and winning and, you know, success and all of those things. And it's ruled by Cancer, right? But what do we know about Cancer? It's not just warm and fuzzy. There's that hard sort of exoskeleton shell, and it's got those pincers. It's able to defend itself, right? So this is basically saying, you know, you need to find that within you this week. The ability to draw boundaries, to say yes when you mean yes, to say no when you mean no, but ultimately to come out on top by dispelling the confusion through going within. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic week. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up for you. Reach out to each other. Reach out to me. There's a whole community in the comments. Be a part of it. Take care, and I'll see you soon.